video going over this Saturday. And I am going over to my mother's. We're doing our Mother's Day celebration today. And so I'm about to go over there. It's late as crap. It is, what time is it? 7:45? It's supposed to start at 8. But I don't know, it's just been one of those days for me. I've been tired. Well, for one, I didn't get much sleep last night. I went to sleep probably like 1, woke up about 2:30 and a.m. And then my internet was going in and out. So I messed with that for a while, couldn't get it to working. I actually went online, was talking back and forth to a rep. I submitted a ticket for somebody to come out. Yeah, that's what I was doing at 2:30, 3 o'clock this morning. I did that, set it up but they came today between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. I was surprised they came out that fast. I went to, so then I got up, girl, I was cleaning up because my granddaughters had come in last night and they had messed up a few dishes, not much. But I got up, went in there, I was cleaning up my office because my office was a mess. Cleaned up my office, I redid the kitchen, I loaded some clothes in the wash. I was up to like 5 o'clock washing clothes, cleaning up. I don't know, because you know what, I was like, I could go lie down, watch YouTube, Facebook, whatever, Instagram, or I could just get up and clean up because I had a little energy from somewhere. I don't know where, child, that time of morning, but I had some energy, so I put it to use, and I got so much done. Oh my gosh, I got a lot done between 2:30 and 5 a.m. and I just took advantage of that time and just did some stuff. And so I went to sleep probably about, the sun was coming up by the time I went to sleep. And I don't know, I just was up and down. I was just so irritated because I'm tired and my phone was just blowing up so much today. And I was just like, oh my God, if one more person calls me, like, it's almost like I need to sleep when my family is asleep, because if I don't, then I won't get any sleep. So they kept calling, and the guys are doing the cooking. They don't really know how to cook. I don't know. I just don't know. But they took it upon themselves to cook. And so Chris was called, so what about this chicken? I'm like, what about the chicken? So he was asking about that, and I'm irritated. Then the girls was calling, like my granddaughters calling, Grandma, can you get this? Can you get that? Mom, can you pick this up? Can you remember to get this? Mom, can you? I'm like, oh my God, Mom, can you get the curls? Mom, can you get Taylor bag? Mom, can you get my iPad? Mom, can you get? And I'm just like, really? My daughter had her tags come to the house. My children still have their mail come to my house. I had to gather their mail up, get her tags to give to her. What else I had to get? I had to get all my gifts, which I wish I would have sent the gifts by Chris. I wasn't thinking. Oh, it was just so much going on. I was so irritated, and my phone was blowing up. Or, the guy's mom, what you doing? I am trying to sleep. Then some people came to the door for Verizon internet, and I was just like, I said, look, I'm not interested. They said, I just take a minute of your time. And I really got firm. I listened to about 30 seconds, and it was just one of them, I'm not interested, because I was trying to sleep. It's just been crazy for me today. One time I was like, you know what, I might have to, and as bad as it sounds, sleep when my family sleeps, because God knows when they are awake, I cannot sleep. My sister called, my kids called, my mama called, everybody called, and I'm just like, I just can't even get no rest. And like, it's just a lot. But I'm gonna make it a great evening, and the guys want to do it today because several other mothers have to work tomorrow. My mom is out of town. Brian has a little side business that he does, so he had to do that this morning. Chris had class, so he had to do that today from 12 to 3. So that's how we ended up starting at 8 o'clock at night. My mom's out of town. She's supposed to be back who knows what time. She might not get back to 10 o'clock tonight, which I really don't care, because she didn't have to go, but she did. So all that, right? I know, but it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be okay. I'm all right now. I'm okay. I was sitting there thinking today when I was getting dressed. If you've been with me for a while, then you know my dad is an alcoholic, and so I I don't know, today I was just thinking about the fact that I haven't talked to my dad since November. I was calling him and he wouldn't answer the phone, so I stopped calling him, you know, and I haven't talked to him. I haven't even spoken to him. And the crazy thing is my dad works in Walmart, part-time, whatever. So right down the street from my house, I go to Walmart. Sometimes we see each other, we just bypass each other. And I stopped speaking to him because I used to run on, hey, Dad, blah, blah, blah. And you know how somebody act like they don't want to be bothered? So in order to avoid the rejection, you know what I'm saying, I just stopped even running up to him saying, I stopped saying anything to him because you see me. And then, you know, like he would, okay, so we've been playing this game for so long, like he would see me in Walmart, he wouldn't speak to me, but then he'll get home and get drunk, then he'll call me and be like, didn't I see you in Walmart? Of course you saw me in Walmart. And I don't know, like, so I was sitting there thinking today, and I was just like, you know, so much has happened to me. I've been through so much. My dad has lost 2 sons. And you know, like, I try to be there for people that's not even no kids to me, that have lost their, you know, kids or whatever. You know, trying to encourage them, try to talk to them, or just, you know, see how the day is going. I have a cousin that lost her son about 2 or 3 months after I lost my son. And I often just, you know, see her message, like, hey, cuz, how you doing? How you holding up? And she's my distant cousin. She's not like my really close cousin. She's my distant cousin. But I remember her, you know what I'm saying? Like, just a few other mothers, you know, I just sometimes check in and say, hey, how you doing? Even fathers, like my son Adrian that passed, every so often I'll check in with his dad, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, and he the same thing with me, how you doing? You know, like, we'll just check with each other, see how each other doing, you know. And one day he was like, I'm so lonely. And like, he lost his mom like maybe like 3 years before Adrian passed. Then he lost Adrian in April 2000. His sister died in like June or July of 2000. So, you know, it's just being like, and I said all that to say, we check on each other. My father has not checked on me. My dad didn't even come to my son's funeral, you know, and it was COVID, so we only had 20 people, which the guy loves have a few more. He loves have like 25. I say the seat for my dad, I had so many cousins, like so many people that went to come in that could not come in. And we streamed it, and they sat outside and they watched from the parking lot. Like, they couldn't get in we had to have it at the funeral home. They couldn't get in the funeral home, but they sat outside and they watched the funeral from outside on their phones. You know what I'm saying? And when we left and these are like my first cousins, because I only have 20 people. So I had some of my, you know, like, Adrian had a lot of kids, so he let his kids come in, the ones that were there. He let, you know, all my uncles, so he let us have a little more than 20, but it's still like my first, because there's so many of us. But they sat out there in that parking lot and waited until we came out. They followed us to the cemetery. Then everybody went back to my house. Like, even some of my friends that could not come into that funeral, they sat out there in the parking lot during the whole entire funeral. And I say the spot for my dad, he didn't even show. Like, he didn't even, and he gave me some bullshit story about bullshit. Then when we got back home, you know, the repast and everything, because we had to have the repast on, everything was so, you know, COVID was just coming out. It was so fresh. So it was such limitations on everything. So we went back to the house, and then he called me trying to stir up trouble. Like, I just buried my son. And he called me with a bullshit story as to why he didn't come. So I'm, you know, I can get, okay, you didn't come, whatever. I just don't even care right now. It's, you know, I don't even know why I'm even feeling like this today. Maybe because, you know, it's Mother's Day or whatever. But I don't even know why I'm talking about this really. But I guess, you know, like, it's bad. And, you know, like, I can relate to sometimes just like feeling like the people that are closest to you that should be there, girl, they would just, some people like you didn't even exist, or like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. Like when my brother died, I really stepped up to the plate. Like I was actually helping to handle the services, basically everything. He lived like maybe a couple hours from me, and I took, because my dad had to pay for the funeral, I went and got the money from my dad, took it to the funeral home, paid for his funeral. I mean, I did everything. And it's just crazy because when my son died, I got nothing. Like my dad lived 5 minutes from me. What I would not have given to be able to just go curl up in his arms or on his chair and just sit there and cry. The many days I sat by myself and cried myself, you know, to sleep or just whatever. And like, I don't know why I was thinking about my dad today, but because, you know, for the most part, I really have accepted the fact he's an alcoholic. I really have accepted the fact that my dad is just who he is, and that's just what it is. But occasionally, I think it gets to me occasionally. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, when you see other people with their dads, and, you know, like even at 52, 53, I see people with their dads, and they a daddy's girl, this and that, you know, and my dad just, you know, and I keep remembering that alcohol is a disease. But damn, like sometimes you just be like, you ever just feel robbed of a relationship? You know what I'm saying? Like I feel robbed of the relationship with my dad. I don't even know where this is coming from. I don't even know why. You know, but, and I put on a happy face and I go on like life, you know, it's just whatever. But it's just sad when you see your dad in a store and he don't even acknowledge you, you know? And like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. It's just, you know, I guess it's just life and it is what it is, you know. But I'm trying to, you know, just go head on, and I ain't got no choice but to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, what other choice do I have? No choice at all but just to live and try to be the best person that I can be, you know, and show the love that I can show. It's just sometimes, you know, it just gets to be a bit much sometimes when you feel like you always giving. And the truth of the fact is my dad will probably die and we'd be just like we are right now, you know, like, you know, that's the sad reality of it. And I hate to say, oh, I'm okay with it, but hell, I don't have no choice but to be okay with it, you know, like, I don't know. It's just that sometimes I feel like some relationships that like my cousin, you know, some relationships I just thought that would never end. But they do. Relationships end. I think I've even learned like relationships with family end. And that's when it gets kind of crazy because, you know, you would just think that family would always be there. But I have a cousin that I swear, like, yo, nobody could have told me years ago that she and I wouldn't even be speaking now. Like, for real. It's so crazy because she's involved with a church that basically she's cut all ties with her family. And I just don't be getting that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, some stuff I just don't understand. But I guess, you know, it's life. It happens, you know. Just gotta chalk it up and live. You know what I'm saying? Just live and understand that some relationships will expire, and that when they expire, you gotta keep on living. You know, doing the best you can, being the best you can, and just keep on living. Anyway, I don't know why this video. Sometimes, you know, honestly, I have learned that sometimes videos take a turn for whatever reason. Sometimes we don't know why, but it's a reason why they take the turn that they take. And maybe somebody need to hear, you know, that's going through the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's your dad, your husband, whoever. Alcohol is a disease. And sometimes they will kill your loved one before your loved one like even expires, you know, from the earthly realm. And you just gotta keep living. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep living. I guess that's the moral of the story, is that you gotta mourn the losses and learn to live without the person. That's it. Learn to live without them, because they show living without you, honey, and don't have no problems doing so.